Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you, Emily?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Yeah.
You having a good day?
Yeah, I am having a good day. I am back home in Tahoe, which is nice. It's like really nice and sunny here.
Mm.
Just climbing on our little, well, now it's a grasshopper wall. It used to be a main board.
Hmm.
Um, Waiting for Adrian. He had to it's a long story. He's a pilot. He flies like a little Cessna airplane.
Okay.
But we had to leave it in Vegas last week because the weather up here was so bad. So he had to like fly commercial down there this morning and then go get the little airplane, and now he's flying it back up here
Okay.
right now. And thankfully I didn't have to go with him, so I just got the day to myself. It's good.
Nice. Did you guys
Yeah.
just get back from the VRG?
We've been back for a few days now.
Okay.
Yeah, we came back like earlier this week, I think.
Nice. How was your
Yeah.
trip?
It's been really good. It's been fun. It's been nice to like base in Vegas, actually,
Hmm.
for me, just because like there's a lot of people who live there who are good friends of mine, and the climbing gym's open, so we can climb in the gym. And I'm kind of psyched on the VRG, but I'm not like over stoker about it. So it's
Okay.
just nice to have like other things to do while he's like Adrian climbs every other day, and then I usually train in the gym and stuff
Okay.
also. Yeah. Yeah, it's been good. It's
Gotcha.
been like kind of mellow.
I've been hearing you talk about kind of the new goal of climbing 14C, and seeing
Oh
your
yeah.
seeing your post from the VRG. I was wondering if there was a specific one at that cliff that had your eye, but it sounds like maybe not.
No, I've played on Necessary Evil
Yeah.
a little bit. It's just really, it's first of all, it's really hard. I think I'd have to like very specifically train for it. And I just don't know if I want to commit to spending that much time there at that place, if that
Mm.
makes sense.
That does.
And it's conditions wise, it's super finicky.
Mm.
So I tried it a little bit and then I was like, I think I'll have to wait. Maybe until we can like travel to Spain again. We'll see.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hmm.
I'd love to come
Yeah.
back to that, but I would love to hear about your send. I haven't congratulated you over the phone. I'd sent you a text, but congratulations on a very significant accomplishment.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was pretty special. It was pretty important personally for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Um,
I
yeah.
got I got to do an episode with John Glassberg.
Yeah, he told me. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to it yet, but I heard it was good.
Yeah, it was super fun, and we talked a lot about you, and he told a lot of really great stories from spending time with you on El Cap, and specifically the send and that day, and kind of how things went down, and getting a chunk taken out of your forehead and all that.
Yeah, it was pretty dramatic.
Yeah, yeah, sounds like it. But yeah, where you and I left off, you were about to go back down to Yosemite, and I think you were going to spend
Uh-huh.
1 or 2 more days working on the route and kind of cleaning up a couple sections or pitches, and then go for the big push. And that push ended up being the send. And I'd just love to hear from your perspective how to go, and how did you feel climbing the route on the Sunday?
Yeah, so I mean, I think that in the fall, this past fall, I sort of went into the season feeling pretty confident, honestly, and like more comfortable and stronger than I'd ever been. And so I had a lot of confidence on that day. And I was honestly, it went super well. Like the beginning, the first like 3/4 of the route, I climbed really well. I kind of did everything right. I did the down climb on my second try, which is kind of like unheard of. I usually fall like 7 or 8 times on
Oh,
that pitch.
oh man.
And then I got through it and was like, oh, wow, that's cool. And then I got through the move on my first try, which was really exciting. And so I arrived at that Tower to the People really like kind of midday in the heat, um, feeling psyched. And that's when the wheels sort of came off a little bit. I was just really, really hot. And I climbed, I just went for it, slipped. When I was like chalking up, resting, just like slipped and fell and ripped a piece of gear out, and but was fine. And then 30 minutes later went back up. Probably should have taken that as like an, oh, okay, it's too hot type thing and been a little bit more patient. Yeah. But went back up, tried again, got through that part, and then slipped again, actually, and came off the wall really sideways and like smashed my forehead into the wall. And yeah, head wounds, bleed a lot. So I was, and then I was sort of like, drained emotionally and like scared and not sure if I wanted to keep going and like kind of wanted to quit and just like didn't feel it really at that point. But I kind of knew that it was just something that had happened and that I was still very capable of doing it, but I kind of needed to hear it from other people. So more like Adrian and John were there kind of saying like, yeah, you can still do this. You just got to wait for the shade. And so I waited, and thankfully I didn't have a concussion. It was just like a pretty bad head wound though. Like I had a full on hole in my forehead, which
God.
Sucked. I ended up having to get stitches, but they couldn't give me like enough stitches because I waited too long.
Oh, wow.
You're supposed to get stitches within like 6 hours of an injury.
Uh-huh.
And obviously like I was on the side of the wall and we didn't get down until 2:30 in the morning. So when I went back like the next day and they were like, why didn't you come in sooner? Anyway, that's why I have like a scar now. So managed, I like climbed again and had just like this really bizarre experience where it was almost just like after that happened, like nothing mattered anymore. Like there were no expectations. There was no like fear. There was no, it was just this really bizarre, like flow state type experience where I just like sent that pitch. And it was almost like I was watching myself climb and I wasn't really making like decisions. It was just like I was on autopilot and I was just moving. And there was like this weird confidence of like, oh, I guess I'm just going to do this, like, okay, this is happening. And I got through that pitch and I was like, it was just like a mix of like weird surprise and like emotion and like disbelief almost. And but then I was like at the base of the A5 Traverse, which is obviously like the hardest, kind of like the biggest challenge on Golden Gate. It's like where most people who try to do it in a day fail. I failed there in 2019. Jordan Cannon failed there the first time.
Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed that teaser of this week's follow-up. If you want full access to follow-ups, you can sign up for $5 a month on Patreon at patreon.com/thenuggetclimbing. Or you can go to thenuggetclimbing.com and click on the support the podcast button at the top. If you're on your smartphone, just tap those two little lines at the top of the page and you'll see the button in the drop-down menu. $5 per month gets you access to all follow-up calls, past and future. As long as you are a member, you'll have access to all of them. As you just heard in the teaser, I've been recording some follow-up conversations with past guests on the show to talk about what they've been up to lately and to go even further into the weeds on a specific topic than we typically would on the podcast. Follow-ups are 20 to 30 minutes in length, occasionally longer, and I will be releasing one every other week to make sure I always have plenty of podcast guests to follow up with. If you sign up for follow-up calls, what you are really doing is supporting the regular podcast and helping me continue to chase down interesting guests so I can pick their brains and bring you new nuggets every week. And by signing up on Patreon, you get some bonus content to look forward to as well. In addition to getting access to follow-ups, I will also let you know who's coming up on the show, and you can submit patron questions for upcoming guests, as you have undoubtedly heard in other episodes of the podcast. $5 per month. Think of it as buying me a beer at the local brewery after a long day of climbing. Whether or not you choose to sign up, thank you for listening, and feel free to share the podcast with your friends or leave a rating on your listening app. It truly helps, and I appreciate you for tuning in. I am very grateful for you guys. Much love to you all. We'll see you next time.
Move with the rhythm. Shake it up, stop when the It's 13. Sing 1, 2, 3, 4. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.